Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob for Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a really interesting impressions and review. I've done one of the CJRB Pyrite before, and it was the steel budget version, and this here is the limited edition CJRB. I really like this. I think it's worthwhile to do a video and impressions because it's just so dramatically different and has a lot of value that I think is worth considering. Alright, so let's jump into this. This is the limited edition of the Pyrite, and it's really kind of an exclusive by Artisan Cutlery. Artisan Cutlery is the, I guess, parent company from CJRB, and they did a version of this, and they offered it on their website, which I was able to get hold of. This is the black PVD version. If you notice some differences, if you're familiar with the other Pyrite, which I happen to have here, this is the steel version. And this right here, you'll notice, is the budget or steel budget version. Very similar between the two, but you definitely can see some differences. You know, if you look at the back, you look at the deep carry pocket clip, and you look at the shape of the hand, the scales, and all that stuff. You can definitely see some differences. We'll talk more about that. But I'll mention first, these are contoured titanium handles or scales, right? So that's really nice. And there's a Micarta inlay right here, and that's really a nice touch. It's black Micarta inlay. So this is titanium, and you have the standoffs, titanium standoffs here in the back, and this is a deep carry mill titanium clip, and you can see that, and really nice. It's still pretty deep. It'll go all the way down here. Still a spot for your lanyard, which I could care less about, but you know, if you like lanyards, you'll love that. But I'm glad it's not prioritized over everything. I would like this to be a little deeper, but hey, for this quality, I'm okay with that. The mill clip works really well. Definitely has not too much tension. Goes in and out of the pocket very easily, especially on this nice. I guess this is I want to say stone-washed sort of PVD kind of titanium kind of finish on here. And what really, I love this finish, this standoff, this non-PVD button lock. So if you didn't know, the Pyrite is a button lock. Probably going to be, at least as far as I'm concerned, the knife of the year, the best knife of the year for 2022. Just a great design. It almost seems like a combination of so many different knives, and looks like, well, is it really different? Yes, it really is, but it's executed so well in both the limited edition and in the budget edition that they're both outstanding. So let's talk about this. Alright, so what makes this different than the budget version? We already talked about titanium handles, but if you look at the blade, still flat grind all the way up. You've got the finger choil or sharpening choil there. But what you'll notice is that this is CPM S35VN steel. So much nicer steel than the proprietary Artisan Cutlery ARRP M9 steel, which is a great budget steel. Really is. Great budget steel when you compare it to the 14C28N. Fantastic budget steel. But this is a much nicer metal, and it's definitely a premium type of metal. I don't know if you consider it super steel. Probably still is within the super steel. You know, most super steels are going to be the CPM 20CV or the M390 or S110V or all those kind of higher end steels, but still I think it's a very nice steel. Very great. It's got great edge retention, corrosion resistance, very durable, easy to sharpen. A lot of positives. Has the jimping like the other one. Thumb studs are really nice. I love the Volcano thumb studs. Works really great. Again, like with the other one, placed perfectly. So easy to deploy, especially forward, reverse flick. Works really well. You know, you can do the button lock flip if you wanted to. Some people will love that. What else? It is a flat grind and very nice thin edge, retains the edge really well. I love that. What I love about these is that I can middle finger flick these because of the high flat grind. Very easy to do, both right-handed and left-handed. So it allows me multiple deployments. I have the button lock deployment, I have the thumb stud deployment, both front and reverse, and then I have the middle, of course, got to do it here, middle finger deployment, which is really nice. So for me, it's very fidgety. I like that a lot. The contoured scales make this a comfortable knife. I love how it fits in the hand. And this mill titanium clip, it melts in your hand. You don't feel it at all. And then with the finger choil, works really well for me. Now, if you have very large fingers, yeah, maybe you're going to get a little close to that finger choil. But for what I do, no, this works really well. I can get up there and choke up and really work well with that, so that's nice. The edge holds really, really well with this CPM S35VN. I've been able to use a leather strop, hone that right up, works great. What else? Dead center on the centering was just perfect when I received it. Has remained that. The action, I love this with the button lock, just really, really smooth. Some people think it's too soft. Some people are not. For me, this is a great EDC knife. This is not a hard use, I'm going to go out and cut logs with kind of knife, but I love this for EDC and purposes. Everything that I do, this is perfect. And I love the deployment method. And one thing I always think, and I think I need to do a video on that, is that I think the button lock, if you're going to introduce people to knives, probably one of the best knives to introduce them to is going to be a button lock knife. I think it really allows them the ability to use the knife. It just makes a lot of sense. You have a button that deploys and closes it. It just seems much more logical for a lot of people. They're going to manually open it, but they can press the button and close it, and it makes sense. Then maybe the liner lock or the frame lock or compression lock or back lock or shark lock or any of the other types of locks that are out there. So in the end, I find this, it's lighter than the CJRB Pyrite budget one. So let's go ahead and take some measurements so we can compare. Okay, we'll go ahead and weigh this and see what we have. So we have 3.26 ounces, and out of curiosity, let's go ahead and measure that against the steel version. So 3.72 ounces. So we're about half an ounce lighter, right? So we got about half an ounce of weight that we saved on that, so that's nice. And let's look at the lengthwise. Now, is there any difference in the measurements? There's not. They are identical in handle length and blade length, so it's going to be the same. This is not going to have contoured scales, so that is the difference, and it's steel, so it's just, that's going to be an aesthetic. So let's go ahead and measure it. I mean, no, we already did it in the other review. This is still to the back of the handle. It's about a little over 3 and I'm going to say 1/16 of an inch. The cutting edge is going to be probably just under 3 inches, unless we measure it like this, and then we're almost at 3 inches. We're just close to, just under 3 inches. So depending on your state and how they measure 3 inches is, to the where the handle is, or it's the cutting edge, I don't know. You need to know your knife laws, whether this is a legal knife or not to carry. So that is up to you and to know your state's laws. The handle is about 4 1/4 inches. And then with the choking, with the finger choil, you probably have about 4 1/2 inches. I find this knife very, very easy to carry, especially for my medium to large hands. I have lots of room, especially when I choke up. And even if I don't choke up, I still have plenty of room for my medium to large hands. They're large and widthwise, medium and lengthwise. So if you have large to extra large hands, I think this will fit you well. Very ergonomic, very comfortable knife. What else? Let's look at the blade stock. Let's see how thick that is. All right, so we're at 0.1 of an inch, and I don't think that's much different than the other one, but let's just double check. And so that's 0.108, and this is 0.104. So a little thinner with the S35VN. I mean, it's a better steel, stronger steel, so maybe you can get better performance out of a little less material, so that's fine. The action is flawless. It's cage ceramic ball bearings, works really well, no issues there, just beautiful drop action. I love that. Locks right in when you release the button lock. It's recessed with the cutout right here, so that's really nice. So when it's out, and when you grip this right hand, or if you grip it left hand, I feel like you're not going to be in the way. Now, if you choke up, yeah, I guess, could you theoretically push that in? Yeah, you could, but to me that would be really awkward kind of a push, because when I carry like this, I'm going to be choking up like that and pushing and pulling and pushing, and my finger's not going to be pushing against that, where I'm gripping like this, yeah, I'm going to have a better chance. But see, I'm still clear of that. So to me, no issues there. I find that just really wonderful. Let's take a close-up. If you wanted to see some closer images of that, you can see the beautiful flat grind. You can see the choil, finger choil, sharpening choil, whatever you want to call it. the pivots. Now this is a T8 right here, and the only thing is I think these are T6s. I'm pretty sure these are all T6s, but this is a T8 and these are T6s, which is a little disappointing. Wish it weren't, but you know, if you have good tools, that should be fine. Definitely have some tools I can recommend if anyone ever wants me to do so. I'm happy to do so, but definitely some tools I would recommend that are going to be solid and, you know, give you a best chance of not stripping your screws or anything like that. Anyways, great knife. I think for the value, is it worth the extra money than the budget one? Well, here's the question. You know, what's the tool for, and what do you get out of the knife, and what do you enjoy? If you just need a cutting tool that's just used to cut and beat up and bang and whatever, and you could care less what it is, you know, the budget one is going to be great. This is the one you should go for. If you like a nicer knife, something maybe to carry to church and carry to work, and something that's a little more aesthetically pleasing, that you enjoy and you like sharpening, and you know, you're not going to just throw it around, drop it on the floor, and not give a rat's butt about it, then I think the limited edition is definitely worth it. I found it's worth it. I think it's definitely worth the little extra money. So that's up to you and you know, your aesthetics and what you enjoy. But I can tell you that I do think it is, and that's why I'm going to make it a recommended knife, and definitely put it in my, you know, highly recommended knives list, and higher end knives. I think this would fall into that because of the cost. So there you have it. Well, if you like this video, if there's anything else you'd like me to... Oh, you know what? Did I do a... Yeah, I already did a comparison. We did the size comparison. If you like this video, if there's any other things you would like me to talk about, be interesting to know or to discuss, please feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know how I can make these reviews impressions a little bit better, and your feedback would help me do that. And if you found this of value, entertaining, or just fun to watch, would you consider subscribing and then maybe hitting the like button? I sure would appreciate it. It helps me to know the content I provide is of value, and I'll keep on making some more. And if you like this, maybe consider following me over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. That's robs_nerdy_knives on Instagram. Thanks so much. And hey, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.